The Ghana National Fire Service has confirmed that the police have launched an investigation into an alleged assault on Class Media Group journalist Samuel Addo while he was covering a fire outbreak at Kasoa New Market in the Central Region. Reports indicate that the journalist was physically confronted by some fire service officers who allegedly tried to prevent him from filming the scene. A video which is circulating online shows Mr. Addo being manhandled amid a chaotic scene with some personnel shouting at him. Let's get more details on this particular matter from the head of PR at the Ghana National Fire Service, Divisional Officer II Desmond Ackah. He's joining us via telephone. Sir, you're welcome to ChannelOne Newsroom.
Thank you for having me, Maru.
So we've seen a video clearly of your men in uniform assaulting a person in that video. The earlier conversation I had with you suggested that yes, there was an assault, but not on a journalist. Is that the position of the fire service?
And so, Omaru, when you check the video, first of all, let me say a very good evening to your cherished viewers. When you check the video very well, you would understand that an assault was meted out to one suspected chief, but we don't support that. That is why an internal investigation has commenced to be able to bring our people to book. And so we want to reiterate the fact that we don't support any form of assault, whether on a civilian or on a journalist or even on a firefighter. And therefore, we strongly condemn that. But in the same video, you will see another gentleman also being whisked away from what we term as the hot zone. In our modus operandi, when we attend to any fire, there is an incident commander. The incident commander is responsible for managing the incident, and therefore he decides who works at the hot zone and who does not. And based on the prevailing conditions, he advises as to whether the men should retrieve or should continue with their work, and is responsible to also ensure that the men even working at the hot zone are safe. And therefore, whoever comes at an incident scene must be able to seek appropriate and express permission from the incident commander. So it is, even when the chief fire officer who assumes command, even at incidents that takes national scale, he also comes, or he or she comes to the incident scene and then has to approach the incident commander for briefing before he or she takes over from the incident commander. And so whoever comes to the incident scene, whether you are a journalist, whether you are an officer, or whether you are a media person or whatever, you must almost always seek permission from the incident commander. And it behoves on the incident commander, if let's say you are a civilian, definitely it means that you may not be protected adequately to enter into the hot zone. So the onus lies on the incident commander to provide you adequate, at least some minimum kind of protection to enable you work in the hot zone. When we say the hot zone, that is where the real action is taking place, whether it is fire, whether it's a road crash, or whether it's an accident with a falling tanker leaking fuel or gas or whatever. That is where the risks are. And there could also be secondary explosions and what have you. And therefore, we don't expect people to throng or to just crowd over the hot zone. That is why we always advise people when they come to emergency scene that they should stay clear of the incident scene, because if for nothing at all, the firefighter is insured.
Okay.
He has some form of compensation. Therefore, any other person coming to the hot zone for whatever reason may not necessarily be covered by an insurance or something. So our men...
Mr. Ackah, what I want to say is that, so you do this professionally. You've done this for years. We respect the work you do and all of that. But you would agree that the thuggery we saw, the violence we saw, has marred the beautiful work that you would have otherwise done. Is there any justification for an assault on whoever that was assaulted, as we are seeing in that video, which is rolling on the screen?
Amaru, let me reiterate again that nobody in the Ghana National Fire Service supports this. And therefore, we condemn that assault on even the suspected chief. We were expecting our men to have whisked him away, just as they whisked the other person to the police station and reported the matter officially. We were expecting that our men should have also whisked him away rather than subjecting him to that kind of beating. And that is what we condemn. And that is how come management has set up this internal investigative team to go into it and then ensure that we apply the sanctions as enshrined in our disciplinary code LI 1725. And therefore, we will not support anything of that. So the same way, we also expect our friends in the media to also support us. Anytime a firefighter is assaulted, even though we have seen in times past that a section of the media, including your outfit, talks about assaults against firefighters. But I think that it looks as if the media is exerting some form of energy or some form of kind of attention has been given to this purported attack on a journalist. So it doesn't mean that if it is a journalist that is assaulted, that is where the media comes in. But if a firefighter is assaulted, nobody talks about it. Nobody gives that.
You have mentioned, Ms. Ackah, it's good that you have mentioned that we have given you the platform and opportunity to talk about the attacks on your personnel over the period. And so that would be the issue. And it is the same thing that we are doing tonight in having a conversation with you on these journalists. Now, the question is, what punitive measures are going to be or ought to be taken against your officers for the conduct that they engaged in?
Well, so the highest form of punishment that can be meted out is dismissal. So if after the investigation it comes out that these officers deserve to be dismissed, why not? We will do that and we'll let the public know. But we don't support any form of attack, whether on a civilian or firefighter or a journalist.
Okay.
And we would also want to be able to help the police to get to the bottom of this. If it so happens that the said journalist who is alleging that he has been assaulted, it so happens that it is true and our men did that, we will subject our men to face the law.
Okay.
If it also turns out that he's also throwing that into the public's eye to cause disaffection for the Ghana National Fire Service, we will come at him with all the force that we have.
Okay.
And we will make sure that that thing does not happen again.
There's another claim he has made.
Deserves better. Our lives matter.
Okay.
We are working under the strenuous condition with limited resources, but we have dedicated our lives to serve the good people of Ghana. And we demand the same respect that is given or accorded other people elsewhere, because we are doing what Napoleon could not do. Just last year, we were able to salvage more than 500 million worth of properties from being gutted by fire. We were able to reduce the numbers of fire outbreak to a significant level. And then prank calls have also reduced to about 40% out on our rival cases, which means that our public education campaigns is also gaining roots, and then people are now becoming accepting of the fact that they need to take precautionary measures to safeguard their wealth. Has also gone up to about 35%. These are the kind of things that we are doing that we want to be able to sustain.
Okay.
So if something like this happens, an isolated case, and we want to bring the hell on Ghana National Fire Service, I think that we are not being fair to the Ghana National Fire Service.
Finally, the journalists...
We still want to reiterate the fact that
yes,
we will not support any form of attack on any other individual, be it fire service, a firefighter, or a journalist, or even a civilian.
The journalist said he had 10,200 cedis on him as of the time your men attacked him, and he's lost that money. What's the service's response to that?
Omaru, I want to restrain myself, and I want the police to kind of do their investigation, because these journalists, you should be very careful. We want to be able to get to the bottom of this. If he says that our men took his money, he should provide evidence. And we are ready. Our men too are ready to assist the police to get to the bottom of this. And if like I've indicated, if it turns out that he is lying or he's doing that in the eyes of the public to cause disaffection for the Ghana National Fire Service, he should also be ready, because we are ready for him.
Very well. Thank you so much for speaking to us.
My pleasure.
Desmond Ackah is head of PR at the Ghana National Fire Service. This is ChannelOne Newsroom on ChannelOne.